all exercises are not created equal. All right, guys, there has been a ton of controversy in the comment section of my YouTube videos, but also my Instagram. And even though part of me agrees with the sentiment of exercises are interchangeable, they all are not created equal. So what do I mean by that? So for example, if I said, hey, on a chest day, if dumbbell press hurts your shoulders, do a barbell press or do a hammer strength press. Those three are all interchangeable to me. Or a Smith machine, all four of those are all gonna be remotely interchangeable. I can load them heavy, I'm pressing hard, I can make them incline, flat, decline, you name it. Where I don't think things are interchangeable is, for example, this pec deck that I'm standing at, or a cable crossover, right? So let's say I had the stack on here, which I've done, which is 190 pounds. I laugh because I'm gonna get Chaz to clip in an example of me doing 5 plates on the hammer strength piece, dumbbell press with 140s, 150s, 315 on the incline. That weight doesn't equate to the same growth. Those are completely different atmospheres in my mind at least. So when I'm training, like I think about flies as a grouping. So if you're gonna say, hey Chris, like pec deck doesn't feel right, or my gym, someone's always on it. Well, then we can do dumbbell flies, we can do cable crossovers, we can do all these different fly variation machines that gyms have. Those are all interchangeable as well. To me, like weighted push-ups or dips, those are interchangeable. But guys, what I really wanna get across to this is, when you're saying all exercises are created equal, I don't believe it. Because if I took two individuals, let's say twins, and I had one of them do all pressing exercises, so I gave them 4 exercises, 4 sets each, so that's 16 total sets of chest. And I had the guy 1, or A, let's say Chris, do all pressing. So he was gonna do a dumbbell press, a flat barbell press, a machine press, and a Smith machine press. And I had the other guy do pec deck flies, high cable crossovers, low cable crossovers, and a dumbbell fly. After 2 years, whose chest do you think is gonna be bigger? I'm telling you right now, all day long, it's Chris, guy 1, number 1. The pressing, because why? We're moving more load, we're activating more chest fibers, and I know in my heart that those just aren't the same. I think every chest day has a place to have pressing and flies intermingled, but not in replace of. So I'll tell a quick story real fast. The first 2 years I was with John, he didn't have me do, I've done, I think, 2 fly exercises total in 2 years, not per week, total. So at max, I did 8 sets of flies in 2 years, total. Because I needed my chest to grow. So he said, Chris, I need you to get brutally strong on barbell, machine, and dumbbell pressing. And that's what we're gonna do every freaking day for chest day. I said, okay, got it, yes sir. We're on board. Guess what happened? I developed the chest because it works. So, let's give you another example. Leg extensions, an incredible quad exercise. And one that, if you struggle to feel quads or activate your quads, I love to put people on. Even some people, I'll use it as a warm-up or a pre-exhaust, however you want to think about that. This is an incredible exercise to work your quads. If my sole goal was blowing someone's quads out, I don't believe I'd necessarily have this in there. Because at the end of the day, like let's say for example, I have a guy who can only recover from 12 sets of hard quads. I'm not gonna waste one on this leg extension. I'm not. I'm gonna say hack squat, leg press, and some other squat variation. It could be a split squat, that could be a barbell squat, a true squat, a belt squat, because I get more bang for my buck out of that, guys. The most thing I've ever had on a leg extension is 250 pounds. That's not even a warm-up set of leg press or hack squat. So if you're thinking about that, about how to overload a muscle, like to me, the leg extension isn't a replacement for a squat variation, a leg press, or even a heavy lunge for that matter. It's just not the same. This is a very isolated single joint exercise. So what I want to think about is when I'm replacing exercises within a session, whether it's because the gym's busy and I can't use that piece of equipment, or maybe your gym doesn't have a piece that you're watching in one of my workouts, or maybe an exercise hurts your joints in a negative way, I want to think about adequate replacements, okay? So for example, if I'm gonna do, I can no longer do a barbell squat or a yoke bar or a spider bar. I love those, but when I cut those out, I didn't replace them with leg extensions. I doubled down on leg press and hack squat and belt squat, true squats, and heavy lunging, because that can adequately load my legs. and it's multi-joint, meaning my hip and my knee and my ankle have to move simultaneously. So it's getting more bang for my buck. So again, if I wanted to replace an exercise, what I want to do is think about in terms of not only just load that I'm taking, but also how it's going to tax the desired muscle tissue. So I know it's really argued that, oh, Chris, like things can be switched. And I agree with you, because if you guys watch any of these workouts that I've been posting, you know that I'm a believer in a variety of exercise and working around injuries, which is all valid points. But what I want you to think about, and I really challenge you guys to do, is by no means do I think, if I'm going to another exercise of back, do I think a straight arm pull down is a great substitution for a heavy dumbbell row. It's just not the freaking same, guys. It's not. The load's not the same. It's not as hard. Like, I can do a set of straight arm pull downs hard as hell. I'm recovered in 25 to 30 seconds. If I gas the 120 to 150 pound dumbbell and dumbbell row, it's 90 seconds before my breathing's return to normal. It's completely different. So when you're switching exercises, I encourage you to do that if you're injured or your gym doesn't have one, or dear God, please don't stand around. I'm not gonna wait 15 minutes on a leg press. That just happened to us last week. One of my clients was on the hack squat. I needed to get there. Guess what we did? I went to leg extensions and then I hack squatted. Now, what are you saying? Oh, Chris, like, that's not an adequate substitution. No, it's just an ad. I just need to keep my pump going. So again, another way to extend your workouts, because I knew I could stand a little bit more volume, and I was thinking about finishing with leg extensions, so I just flipped the order there, guys. So instead of going leg press to hack to leg extension, I went leg press, leg extension, and then a hack squat. So again, don't be married to something. Don't think that all things are equal as well, because they aren't. All day long, body weight sissy squats aren't gonna put the mass on your quads that a hack squat would. And even though a muscle EMG reading may say, oh, your quads are getting the exact same stimulation, it's just not happening, guys. You figure on a sissy squat, I weigh, what, 200, almost 60 pounds by the time I'm training, probably over 260 by the time my intra-workout's in me. That isn't even sniffing 6 plates aside on hack squat that I used just yesterday. So again, the takeaway and take home message here is, when you're substituting exercises, be smart with switching equal to equal and not actually doing yourself a disservice. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, Chris on the TV.